One sunny morning, Arjun visited a botanical garden for a school science project. While walking through the garden, he noticed that not all plants looked or behaved the same. Some were bright green, some dull and pale, some grew on others, and some even moved. This made him wonder, do all plants prepare their own food in the same way? Let's join Arjun on his journey as he uncovers the different modes of nutrition in plants. Arjun first saw rows of green plants soaking in the sunlight. These were autotrophs, plants that make their own food through photosynthesis. Using sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water, these plants produce glucose inside their leaves, which contains a green pigment called chlorophyll. This process not only gives them food but also releases oxygen into the air. This is the most common mode of nutrition in plants. In another corner of the garden, Arjun noticed a yellow vine tangled around the green plant. It had no leaves of its own. This was Cuscuta, also called amarbel, a parasitic plant that does not have chlorophyll and cannot make its own food. Instead, it grows on the host plant and absorbs nutrients through special structures called hastoria. Parasitic nutrients allows it to survive by completely depending on its host. Other parasitic plants include mistletoe or Rafflesia. They may be total parasites, that means fully dependent, or partial parasites like mistletoe, which can do some photosynthesis. Walking through a shady part of the garden, Arjun found mushrooms growing on a dead log. These organisms don't perform photosynthesis. Instead, they feed on dead and decaying materials by secreting digestive enzymes. They break down complex substances into simpler ones and absorb the nutrients. This big umbrella-like thing is the mushroom, the part we can see above the ground. But underneath, there is a secret network called mycelium that does all the hard work. These organisms don't perform photosynthesis. Instead, they feed on dead and decaying material by secreting digestive enzymes. See these little green dots? Those are extracellular enzymes. The fungus sends them out to break the dead leaf into tiny bits, almost like pre-digesting food before eating it. When the enzymes finish breaking the food, something called glucose is made. That's sugar. The fungus absorbs it and uses it to stay alive and grow. This mode of nutrition is called the sapotrophic nutrition, and such organisms are called sapotrophs. The enzymes go out, break down the food, sugar comes in, and energy is made. It all happens outside the body first, and then the fungus absorbs it. Next, in the vegetable section of the garden, Arjun noticed pea plants with tiny swellings on their roots. These swellings are called root nodules, and they house Rhizobium bacteria. The plant provides shelter and nutrients to the bacteria, and in return, Rhizobium fixes nitrogen from the air into a form usable by the plant. This mutual give and take is called symbiotic nutrition. Another example is lichens, where alga and fungus lives together and help each other survive. Walking through a greenhouse area, Arjun was amazed to see a plant shaped like a bottle. It was a pitcher plant, a type of insectivorous plant. Such plants grow in soil that is poor in nitrogen. To fulfill their nitrogen needs, they trap insects in modified leaves shaped like pitchers. Inside, the plant releases digestive juices to break down the insect's body and absorb nutrients. Other insectivorous plants include Venus flytrap and sundew. By the end of the visit, Arjun had discovered that not all plants eat the same way. Some prepare their own food, while others depend on hosts, decaying matters, friendly bacteria, or even insects to survive. Each plant adapts to its environment through a different mode of nutrition. 5 modes of nutrition in plants. Autotrophic makes own food, parasitic lives off a host, sapotrophic feeds on dead matter, symbiotic mutual benefit, insectivorous traps and digests insects. Each type of plant has a special impact on our planet. Autotrophic plants, they give us oxygen to breathe and food to eat. They also clean the air by using carbon dioxide. Parasitic plants, they can weaken or even harm their hosts, but they also help keep populations balanced in nature. Saprotrophs, they are nature's cleanup crew. They break down dead plants and animals and turn them into nutrients for the soil. Without them, the earth would be buried under dead stuff. Symbiotic plants. Symbiosis means sharing is caring in the natural world. Both organisms help each other survive. It's beautiful partnership that makes ecosystems stronger and more balanced. Insectivorous plants. They usually grow in poor soil and still manage to survive by catching insects. They help control insect population too. Each way of getting food keeps the environment healthy in its own way. Some clean up, some give back, some balance life. That's why biodiversity is so important. Challenge time. Which of the following plants show saprotrophic mode of nutrition? Answer in the comment section below.
Scan the QR code to download our app, practice maths, science, English, and more. Like the video and subscribe our channel for more fun videos.